Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Dual Destinies. Phoenix Wright's Dual Destinies, or, you know, it should be Apollo's Dual Destinies, but yes, we're back. Unfortunately, the last stream got hit with a power outage at the end, so everything kind of just went black, and, you know, we had to give it a rest for an hour, so, you know, that's fun. So I apologize, VOD Frogs, if you're coming over from that stream. Nothing I could do. I had to sit and wait for like an hour and a half for the power to come back on. Pretty freaking sweet, Lois. I love that. That's so cool. But yes, we're back. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Hopefully we're all good and nothing will happen. Is my mic lower than usual? Yes, it is. Let me turn that up. Hopefully that doesn't happen again during this stream. But it's always very scary when everything goes black. You know, I'm just there doing my thing and then connection terminated, you know. Not fun. And we lost a bit of progress too. I was scared of that. But luckily there was an autosave not that far ago. So we'll just go over the lines again and go over it again, just why not? I don't exactly remember where we were. So, we'll just do a little retread. Should be fine. Yeah, I was scared. I was scared at how long that power outage would last, since I had a whole thing planned. We still got that mystery game lined up for later, so I was scared we wouldn't be able to do that. But now, I think we will, as long as everything is stable. And I don't know if I'm going to reveal what it is yet. But I'm very excited to play it. Me and Ryan are going to be playing it. And actually, it'll be open to you guys, too. I'm sure I'll let chat members in as well. If you get the game. No, it's not Death Note. I don't know why that was your first idea, but no. Anyway, shall we get back to it? Welcome back to Dual Destinies, everybody. We were having a blast last time, so right back in.
Hit Mr. Justice in the back of the head in order to silence him.
Objection!
Jenny would never do such a thing. She was devastated when we found Apollo hurt like that.
Miss Sykes, please control your outbursts.
It is the prosecution's belief that by deliberating on Mr. Justice's assault, we will draw ever closer to the truth of the courtroom bombing itself.
No, not among us. No.
Very well. Miss Woods is hereby officially indicted on the charge of assaulting Mr. Justice.
That is the line we left on. Literally, as the stream died, we were looking up how to say indicted, and Google kindly told me I was saying it correctly, while Big Boss was trying to gaslight me into saying addicted. Maybe it's both ways, but Google first told me indicted, so I'll roll with that, because that's what I've heard.
What? Why are they listening to Mr. Toupee over there?
Although, considering our conversation yesterday...
I think Apollo might have figured something out.
I wonder what it was.
He told me, I'm gonna look for evidence to clear your name, Juniper.
Maybe the two incidents really are related after all.
I would like to start by hearing from the defendant herself.
Very well. Bailiff, please bring Miss Woods to the witness stand.
Aww. Still a little coffee.
I'm sorry. I can't seem to stop.
Miss Woods. Guess she's still really upset about Apollo.
Miss Woods, you went to the ruins of courtroom number 4 with Mr. Justice, did you not? Yes, I did. Good. If you would, then please testify about what happened to the court.
Witness testimony. Alone with Apollo. Ooh. Yep.
During the trial yesterday, I was overcome by a fit of coughing.
In the middle of a game, but your guess is web fishing? Well, why not? You guessed it. Yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, you got it. It's web fishing. Yes, we're gonna be doing web fishing, finally. Been wanting to play that for a while. Yep, you got it. How'd you even guess that? Web fishing's like a chat room kind of thing where you fish and you gamble, and it's with all these cute little Animal Crossing little characters. It blew up a while back. You remember me mentioning I wanted to play it? Well, yes. Ryan basically coerced me into it yesterday. He was like, I bought it, now you buy it. And so, I did. No, it's not free, but it's very cheap. I think it's like $5 American. It's only $8 New Zealand, so it was an instant purchase. I mean, it's no, no skin off my nose if that's cheap.
During the trial yesterday, I was overcome by a fit of coughing.
Give me $8 and I'll play.
Apollo stayed with me and we went to the courtroom ruins together. But then I was called back to this courtroom to give testimony. Apollo insisted on staying behind in courtroom number 4. I swear I didn't attack Apollo. Why would I hurt such a kind person?
So, Mr. Justice stayed by your side while you were feeling unwell. What an admirable young man! I thought his loud voice was his only outstanding feature.
He may look a little imp at times, but Apollo can be really nice too.
I hope she didn't hurt her wrist backhanding that one out.
But one has to wonder, why did Mr. Justice stay behind in the ruins?
I think Apollo might have figured something out.
Something? What kind of something?
Something to do with the courtroom bombing kind of something. I think.
Oh! New evidence for the case, was it? Well, that's a very big kind of something indeed.
Are we still using the Juris system? Is that still in play here? I don't even know.
I believe so. He mentioned looking for some evidence when I was called away. Objection! Just as I thought, there is a connection between the two incidents. But the defendant has told a very big lie, Your Honor.
What lie is that?
When she learned Mr. Justice would be looking for evidence, she attacked him. She attacked him to give herself the chance to destroy that evidence. No, I never... Objection! Miss Woods repaid Mr. Justice's kindness with violence. We found the proof of her foul deed in the courtroom ruins.
Bro, he did not write that. Look at that, look at that horrible writing right there. What on earth?
Do you see it? There in front of Mr. Justice's right hand. Witness the message he left us.
It's written in blood. W-O-O-D-S. Wad? Wowd? What does that mean? Why isn't that?
That's right, Your Honor. It says Woods in capital letters. What? I submit that Mr. Justice left us with the name of his attacker before he fainted. No, that can't be true. Why would Apollo write my name?
Mr. Wright, the nerve of him leaving that message. Why would he do this? Hey, don't take it out on me. I don't understand it any more than you do. We discovered Apollo yesterday. Apollo!
No.
We didn't even have a chance to rush over to him. As soon as security heard Athena's scream, they ran in and cordoned off the area. After that, they were there in courtroom number 4 with Apollo the whole time. We couldn't investigate anything ourselves. Had to leave everything to the police. Still, I never thought they would find some bloody writing there.
Now then, please begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Aye, aye, Captain. overcome by a fit of coughing. Apollo stayed with me when we went to the courtroom ruins together.
Hold it!
Why exactly did you go to the courtroom ruins?
We went to look for my medicine to stop my coughing.
Your medicine? Why would your medicine be in courtroom number 4?
I dropped it in the heat of the moment. Bumrap Riney. He was keeping my medicine safe for me.
Okay, I was gonna say that's a contradiction, but nope.
He's a little compartment that I put things in, you see?
And Phony Fanty has the same type of pocket. That's where the bomb was inserted.
I put my medicine for coughing fits inside Bumrap Riney. When I told Apollo about it, he said he'd help me go look for him. There was so much rubble in there. I was so worried, but there was no rubble or anything in front of the witness stand. So when we got inside, Apollo went straight there. I started looking for my Riney in that area. It was so nice of him to do that for me, in spite of all his injuries. Apollo's so strong and kind, just like the trees of the forest.
Oh. I like that. It's so cute. Yeah, I know. It's an odd name. The way she makes him sound, you'd think Apollo was some kind of ancient god. Oh, wait.
So, that's why you went to the ruins? I see. That seems to be quite an important fact. Please add it to your testimony, Miss Woods. I suspect there will be a Mr. Woods soon.
Hold it!
The area around the witness stand, are you sure about that?
I'm sorry, did I say something wrong?
No, of course not. I was just testing my hearing. Must not upset her. Must not upset her.
Yeah, I'm sure that's where we searched first.
Well, it doesn't seem to be any rubble around there. It seems to be the truth. I think, right? Unless it would count around the sides. But if they were just searching around the area, then looks to be in order. Swear I didn't attack Apollo. Why would I ever hurt such a kind person?
Hold it!
So you think Mr. Justice is kind?
Yes, very kind. He rescued me. He's like the sun, strong and warm. Makes me feel strong too.
The only adjectives I associate with the sun are sweltering and oppressive.
Then Apollo got hurt and it's all my fault.
Junie, Apollo's gonna be fine. He's just like the sun, right? Well, the sun doesn't just drop out of the sky.
Really think he'll be fine?
But the sun does go down at night.
And that means Apollo could...
Mr. Payne, I do not think much of men who make young ladies cry.
So Apollo was trying to help Juniper. Who knew that Apollo could be such a sweetheart? Must have been pretty hard on him, too, with all that rubble everywhere. Now that I think about it, there's something odd about what Apollo was able to do. You know, considering what Miss Woods said just now, I think you're right. That courtroom was in a very unusual state, after all. Which leaves a $1,000,000 question. What would explain this contradiction? Anyway, let's see what happens when I present let's see what happens when I present what I suspect is our answer. I guess it is the, no rubble line.
Objection!
So he started his search with the witness stand, you say?
That's right, I guess maybe he wanted to start from the furthest point in the room. He's being so brave. And strong.
But that's odd. Under the circumstances, he shouldn't have been capable of that.
But he was, and he still is. He might not look it, but he really is brave, and kind too.
No, that's not the part I'm finding fault with. Someone has a crush on Apollo. What you're claiming is something that no one could be able to do.
But I should think that anyone can be brave and kind if they wanted to be, Mr. Wright.
True, anyone can be brave and kind, but if you would please take a look at the diagram. With the courtroom in this state, how is it possible to walk up to the witness stand?
Oh,
I see your point. The rubble blocks off the access to the area around the witness stand.
I mean, I guess. Couldn't you just go around the right side? No.
Does such a tiny inconsistency even matter? Perhaps the witness is simply misremembering it.
Ugh. Great. No, I'm not so sure it matters.
A real man doesn't make mountains out of molehills, you know.
But that's precisely what Mr. Wright does best.
I call slander, Your Honor! Objection! Hold it!
So, was it really impossible to approach the witness stand? I have to say, it's a bit hard to tell with any accuracy just from this diagram. Mr. Payne, do you have any other photos of the crime scene?
Let me see, Your Honor. Ah, yes. I have one more. Here it is. It's more pulled back version of the photo I presented before.
Some of his wraps have been taken off. What's that hunk of metal on wheels? Mr. Payne, is the metallic object in that photo Mr. Tanate's bomb transport case?
That's right. Is there some problem?
Ah, yes, that transport gate was there in courtroom number 4 when the bomb went off. It must have been there ever since.
oh, that's it.
Miss Woods, have you remembered something?
Yes, I just realized. Its position. It's different from before.
Its position? The position of what?
The position of that big metal thing.
The bomb transport case?
Yeah, when Apollo and I went there, it was in a different place. Where the case is in the photo was an open space, so it was easy to search the stand.
I see. So, where was the transport case when you and Mr. Justice saw it? Oh! I thought that was the... I know that's the stand there, but I thought it was like a stool or something. That's the case. Oh, I'm such a fool.
As I recall, I think it was a bit more to the right.
To the right. And that means... In that case, the case was over there at the time of Apollo's attack.
Who cares where the transport case was when? What difference does it make? It has nothing at all to do with what we were talking about.
Objection!
Objection! It has everything to do with what we're talking about. Look at my waggly finger. Look at it. Gee, I've missed waggling my finger in people's faces. Where the transport case has everything to do with this discussion. In fact, it's so important that it's enough to turn the prosecution's argument on its ear.
What?
Well, that certainly sounds very relevant indeed. And you sound as though you know where the case was at the time of the attack.
Yes, Your Honor. This diagram represents the crime scene as shown in the photo. And this is where the transport case was at the time of the assault on Mr. Justice. Alright, I have this. The bomb transport case was here at the time of Apollo's attack. This right here is over the woods. Your Honor, I assert that this is where the transport case was at the time of the assault.
But that's...
Inconceivable!
Miss Woods, was that where the transport case was when you saw it?
Yes, that's where it was.
Thank you, Miss Woods. I'm sure the court has noted an interesting fact about this position.
The transport case covers up the writing in the blood.
Exactly. If the transport case was in that position at the time of the assault, then no message could have been written there because the case was in the way. Which leads us to conclude that Mr. Justice couldn't have left that bloody writing.
Objection!
Why should we believe the defendant's claim that the case was in a different position? She's obviously lying.
Objection!
The fact that the case was moved after the assault on Mr. Justice is proved by more than Miss Wood's testimony alone.
What? And where's your proof? What are you talking about?
It's right here in the crime photo. I'm beginning to see this proof myself, Mr. Wright.
Oh yeah, you can see the tracks.
Take that!
All the proof you'll need, Your Honor, is right here. Fuck. I'm sensing feelings of doubt from you, which means you're just taking a wild stab in the dark. Ah, you're good, but you can always tell how I'm about to feel in a few seconds, too. No, I know what it is, I know what it is, I know what it is! Don't penalize me, I know what it is! I know what it is, there's tracks, I clicked the tracks!
Take that!
For fuck, why do I click then?
Take that!
Oh my god, where do I click? Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da.
Take that!
Here. Oh my god. There's tracks on the floor! That's what it is! It's the tracks! Don't fucking do this to me. What do I click then? What do I click then, game? What do you want me to click? It's obviously these tracks. That lines up perfectly. What do you want me to say about it?
Take that!
Oh my lord! Well... Our first guilty verdict. Oh, cool. Yeah, let's go back in real quick. Let's just come back in. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Where do I click then? I don't know. Over here?
Take that!
Oh my god. I'm dying out here. Where do I fucking click? What proves the case was moved after the assault? It's obviously the tire tracks, but like, how do I? Oh wait, maybe. Oh wait. This? Because it's on his. It's on his wraps. Maybe that's why.
Take that!
Oh, this is wraps. Oh, my bad, my bad. Please take a look at the mark that runs over Mr. Justice's bandages here.
Oh, I see it. But what is it?
This mark was made by one of the casters from the transport case carrying the bomb. As the case was moved, it ran over his bandages. In other words, the transport case was originally to the right of Mr. Justice. Then, after Mr. Justice was assaulted, the transport case was moved. What? Just as Miss Wood said, the case was covering the writing at the time of the assault. Therefore, it was impossible for Mr. Justice to have left that message in blood. No! You did it, boss! Oh, it was a real nail biter, but you pulled it off after failing a couple times. Yep, that should bring down the prosecution's claim like a house of cards.
Order! Order in the court! Mr. Wright. That was a very clever deduction.
Was nothing, Your Honor. Nothing but pure genius. Take that! Boss, I'm sensing a definite smug and braggy vibe coming off of you.
I just have one question, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Justice didn't leave this message in blood. Then who did?
Huh? What?
Oh!
Well, looks like I should have taken that train of thought through to the last station.
Well, well. I've heard a lot about this. So, this is Mr. Wright's famous bluffing technique, is it?
Ah, this feeling. It does bring back memories of the old days. Back when you carved out a name for yourself by bluffing your way through thick and thin.
Gee, Mr. Wright, the judge kind of makes you sound no better than a 2-bit con man.
You made your arguments with such confidence, Mr. Wright. Now I'd like to hear your answer with just as much confidence.
Day, until the judge asked the question, you didn't catch on either, Buster. What now, boss?
I hope you didn't bluff your way into a corner.
Think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way through this. I have to dig my way to the truth somehow. Who could have written that message in blood? The culprit. If Apollo didn't leave that bloody writing, maybe it was Apollo's attacker who wrote it and made it look like Apollo did it. That seems like the most reasonable explanation. But wait a minute. I just realized something, boss. What? Look at the amount of blood in the photo. Doesn't look like Apollo bled very much. I wonder if it's even possible to write Woods with just this much. Hey, you're right. I think Apollo didn't lose that much blood. That might be a factor in why he survived the assault. Since there was so little blood, that pretty much rules out his attacker, huh? I guess so. But if it wasn't his attacker, then who else could have done it? Why couldn't it be his attacker? Are we sure it's blood? Has it been tested? Okay, well, if it's not Apollo, then it was probably Arm who did it. Or the person who killed Arm. Oh yeah, it might have been a, they might have been trying to blame her for it earlier. For the bombing, that is what she's on for. And it was covered up by the bomb case, so... Who could have written that message in blood? Someone else. It wasn't Apollo. Who could have left that bloody message? Maybe Candace.
Take that!
To be honest, I don't actually have any real proof of this. But I've come this far. There's no turning back now. Besides Apollo, there was one other person who shed blood at this crime scene.
A person who shed blood? You don't mean...
Oh, but I do. I believe it was Candace Arm who left behind that message in blood.
What? What?
What? Detective Arm? Are you sure you know what you're doing here? Not really?
Objection!
What kind of ridiculous assertion is that? If you had said the attacker left the message to throw people off, it might have made sense.
At first glance, that would seem to be the most reasonable explanation. However, Apollo didn't shed enough blood to write such an extensive message.
Uh-oh.
I see. Even the photo makes it clear there wasn't enough blood to write all those letters. And if Mr. Justice did survive, I suppose he didn't bleed very extensively in that case.
But why would Detective Arm write the defendant's name? There's no connection between the two whatsoever.
And I didn't even know the lady was killed.
They never even met each other.
That's very true. Well then, let's see. Then maybe the intended meaning of the message is not what it appears to be.
The intended meaning?
Is there anything else named Woods? Or Stu? Stool?
Not what it appears to be.
Maybe the message was not intended to be Woods?
Coming from you, that's quite the bold statement, Mr. Wright. You wish to assert that this bloody writing could have had some other meaning?
Yes, Your Honor. For something I pulled out of a wormhole, it could turn out to be true, right? Something I just straight up pulled out of my ass. straight onto the. This is the real bluffing technique.
It clearly says Woods, as anyone can plainly see. What other meaning could it possibly have?
Objection!
But Candace Arm was a detective. Maybe Woods only means something to the police. Like a police scanner code, for example.
I didn't think of that.
Let's take a look at this. There are 2 O's in this. Doom, doom.
You may have tricked His Honor, but you'll never get the best of me. I have a thing of studying on the weekends, as you may have already guessed. And there's no such radio code as Woods in this state, dear Wright.
Is that a fact? Don't look at me. I know as much as you do about police codes.
Enough of this! I was quite taken with the defense's new theory. But if they can't substantiate it with anything, then I must end things here.
No, please wait, Your Honor.
Very well, but before we discuss this theory any further, I demand a plausible explanation. So, Mr. Wright, what is the true meaning of the bloody writing?
Well, I believe it's...
And no stalling! If you can't come up with an answer quickly, I will declare this discussion officially over.
I'm in trouble now. What other meaning could it have besides the obvious one? Maybe it means something in another language? Or maybe it's a code. Think, Phoenix. You can do this.
Which piece of evidence will tell us what the word Woods really means?
Cause of death, trauma to the back of the head, caused by impact with a flat object, time of death. The HH-3000 bomb. Woods. Has 2 zeros, but no, it has 3. Well, if we're really trying to figure this out, the W could be seen as 2 1s or 7s. D could be, I don't know, but S could be 5. Woods. Moods. L11005R. Well, 2 zeros, a 5.
Take that!
The bomb transport case? I've had it up to here with your shenanigans, Mr. Wright.
Take a look at the numbers on this case, Your Honor. L10015R. Doesn't this string look vaguely familiar?
L100? What does that have to do with anything?
What could those numbers possibly have to do with the case at hand?
Now please take a look at the bloody writing shown in the crime scene photo. Oh, I think I see it. That a girl. That's 1 on my side.
It says Woods.
Or you could say it's a horse of a different color, Your Honor. The first character isn't a W. It's actually an L and a 1 that are next to 2 zeros. Ah!
Oh my goodness!
The true meaning behind this bloody writing isn't Miss Wood's name. It's the number engraved on the bomb transport case.
What are you talking about? The next part doesn't make any sense. The next number is 1, but the bloody writing says D.
Objection!
But the number on the case and the bloody writing can be made to match up quite easily. This is how the number on the transport case can be made to match the number on the bloody writing. Read it backwards. Erase one line. Well, seemingly it just needs to be erased with one line. Right? Not auto. If we erase one line, it could be seen as a 1 and a 5. But then there's no R. All you have to do is erase one line from the writing.
Erase one line from where?
Anywhere you'd like.
Anywhere I'd like. All right. I'll erase one of the O's. Wads? Is that what it's supposed to mean?
Your state of mind, I believe it stands for wise, optimistic, dauntless, and serene. Boss, what in the world? There's no time for a psychology test.
I can't say my state of mind is exactly serene now, Mr. Wright.
Anywhere you'd like. Now try again. I propose we read it backwards. Let's see. Reading it from back end, we get Sadoo.
I see. And what does that mean?
I believe there was someone connected to the case. The name of S. Duel. Wasn't there, Your Honor? And who in the world is S. Dow supposed to be, boss?
I'm afraid there's no such person connected to the case.
Yes, well, I guess I expected as much.
If you knew, then why'd you ask?
That's funny. It's removed 2 lines. Oh, fuck. W and the curved part of the D. Oh yeah, I suppose you're right. I thought we were strictly talking about the D.
Well, would you look at that?
Oh look, there's the other piece. That got taken out by rubble.
L1001S. I mean, Leo is...
No, Your Honor, it isn't meant to be a word. It's the number L10015, which is, if you take away the final R, is the exact same number that's on the bomb transport case.
Erase 2 lines and they match up, you say? Well, I can change anything into anything else by simply erasing 2 lines. What if we erase 2 lines from your name? Would you be happy as Mr. Rye?
Well, would you, Mr. Rye?
The only right spelling of is right. Okay, I'm doing pretty well here. I think I've drawn the right conclusion. Detective Arm's real message to us is the bomb transport case number. Your Honor, the 2 lines were added by the real culprit to intentionally mislead people.
What?
The original message Detective Arm left behind was the transport case number. But whoever assaulted Apollo changed the message. If you're right, boss, then what do you suppose Detective Arm was trying to tell us? Good question. What does this number represent?
See this number here? This is my identification number.
Candace Arm lost her life in the courtroom bombing. Her dying message could have only had one purpose.
No!
To tell us the name of the one responsible for the bombing.
Well, don't keep us in suspense, Mr. Wright. Tell us who she was trying to name.
culprit that the victim was trying to identify is none other than... Juniper Woods!
Take that!
Oh, his name is a play on detonate. Fun. If you just reverse Ted. Ah, cute.
Ted Donate?
Apparently, disabling bombs isn't Mr. Tonate's only specialty. Somehow the victim must have realized that he was the bomber. So when she was caught in the blast, she left his bomb transport case number as her dying message. She used Mr. Tonate's own ID number to finger him for the crime.
That's gross. Why would anybody go out of their way to write an ID number? Wouldn't they simply write the person's name?
He's got a good point there.
What do you have to say to that, Mr. Wright?
That only Detective Arm would know the answer to that, but allow me to offer a theory. Perhaps Detective Arm couldn't recall Mr. Tonate's name in the heat of the moment. As I recall, this was the first meeting between the two. It's entirely possible they wouldn't have been familiar with each other. Or maybe using the ID number was a way of hiding its true meaning from the real culprit. Thus lowering the odds they would erase the bloody writing. That's a good point. But no matter what the reason, the important thing is the meaning behind her message. The fact remains that she wrote Mr. Tonate's ID number.
Objection!
Now, just one moment here. There hasn't been any proof yet that it was indeed Detective Arm who wrote it. The bloody writing wasn't found during the investigation after the blast. Detective Arm had left a message. It should have been found at the time.
Objection!
Naturally, Mr. Tonate hid it before anyone could discover it. And there's a simple explanation for how he was able to do so.
What?
Mr. Tonate was able to cover the message up because he's the first to find the body. The first person to discover the bloody writing was Mr. Tonate himself.
I was the first on the scene after the explosion. I went there to ensure safety, but I ended up discovering a dead body.
When Mr. Tonate saw the victim had written his ID number, he used the bomb transport case to cover up the bloody writing as a stopgap measure. Oh, so that's why the message in blood was under the transport case. He didn't have enough time to try and scrub away the writing. If he didn't report the body right away, he would look suspicious. So those letters lived on to serve another function, when Mr. Tonate used them in another incident.
Oh, the assault on Mr. Justice!
Exactly. Mr. Tonate hit upon a plan to use the bloody writing for his own purposes. So he didn't clean it away. Instead, he made it look like Mr. Justice wrote it, by adding 2 lines to the writing that Detective Arm left behind. He changed the meaning of the message. He made it look like Mr. Justice was accusing Miss Woods of the attack. So that means the only person who could have altered the bloody writing was the courtroom bomber, who was the same person that assaulted Mr. Justice. And that person is Ted Tonate. Ah!
Order in the court! Order, I say! It looks like we will have to hear from this bomb specialist himself. Mr. Payne, please have Mr. Tonate take the witness stand.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ah, that was great, Mr. Wright. Just doing what I do best, which is flying by the seat of my pants. Yep.
Dismantling the case is yours. Do you think you can handle it? I look forward to seeing you try.
Finally draw Mr. Tonate back into the witness stand. Looks like you'll get your wish, Goggle Man. Now watch me take your lies apart.
Mr. Tonate, I'm afraid we've a few more questions for you.
I understand the situation, Your Honor. I was keeping a close eye on the proceedings from the gallery. The allegations are all laughable.
Objection!
I wouldn't be laughing if I were you, Mr. Tonate. The message in blood matches your ID number. Oh, it's standing right there. The same ID number that is there on the bomb transport case.
Such a far-fetched theory. No better than a tangled ball of wires. I'll have them untangled for you in no time at all.
You're the first person on the scene after Detective Arm left her message in blood. You were the only one who could have hidden the writing, then used it again later. Also, by the way, shouldn't there be 2 types of blood there now? Shouldn't it be, both blood types? Shouldn't it be, Apollo's and the Arm's blood? Because surely he used Apollo's blood to fill in the gaps, right? Because the other body had already been gone. This is more blood there. You were the only one who could have hidden the writing, and they used it again later.
I see times 2. But then let me ask you, do you have any proof that Detective Arm wrote that message?
That's a very good question. Well, do you, Mr. Wright?
The best way to prove that Detective Arm wrote that message is to analyze the DNA, goddammit. Your Honor, I request that a DNA test be performed on the blood itself. Once we know whose it is, it will be obvious who wrote the message.
Very well. Bailiff, please put a request for a DNA test with the forensics team.
Waiting for that? Jesus. Sometimes the forensics are already on the case before we can get a hold, and sometimes they're just, I don't know, sitting around fucking eating donuts or something.
Will be some time before we have the results of the analysis. Until then, let's hear more from the witness.
I'd like nothing more, Your Honor. I want the court to hear how ridiculous the defense's theory is.
I can't wait for the first breakdown.
I admit I was the first on the scene after that explosion. There was no bloody writing there at the time. Anyway, there's no way Detective Arm could have written it. She struck her head on rubble and died near the courtroom entrance. She was too far away from where the bloody message was found.
So you're saying that the victim's body was nowhere near where the writing was?
Precisely. It is as plain as day that she could not have written it. It's true that the body was discovered near the entrance to the courtroom. Please have a look at this crime scene photo. As you can see, there is blood on the rubble near the victim's body. She must have died after hitting her head there.
I see. All right then, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
You have what it takes to take my infallible testimony apart.
First on the crime. There was no bloody writing there at the time. There's no way the Detective Arm could have written it. She had struck her head on rubble and died near the courtroom entrance. Between 8 and 11 a.m. That's a large window of time.
Hold it!
Do you imagine she was thrown back by the force of the blast?
A bomb can inflict damage not only from the explosion itself, but also substantial secondary damage from the blast wind. Detective Arm unfortunately hit her head on some rubble. It's stated in her autopsy report as well. Cause of death, trauma to the back of the head.
Now, the autopsy report. Better take another look at that.
Now, do you see? Detective Arm could not have written that message. The reason for that being...
Flat object. That doesn't look flat to me. That looks like the corner of an object.
Objection!
You're a terrible liar, Mr. Tsunate. Take a look at the autopsy, specifically the part about Detective Arm's head injury. Cause of death, trauma to back of head, caused by impact with a flat object.
Yes, what about it?
Now take a good look at the bloody piece of rubble. It's sharp and pointed. Hey, you're right, boss. It is pointy. Just like your hair.
That is odd, isn't it? His hair, I mean. What could be the meaning of this contradiction?
I believe it means the victim did not hit her head on this piece of rubble. The bloodstain you see is another fabrication. Its purpose is to mislead us into thinking the victim died near the courtroom entrance.
Are you claiming that the culprit moved the victim's body?
That's exactly what I'm claiming. The victim hit her head at some other location. Most likely on the floor or some other flat surface. And this location was somewhere near where the bloody writing was found. In that case, she definitely could have written that message. Your Honor! I have the results of the bloodstain analysis.
Ah, very good timing. Let's take a look. According to this report, the message was written in Detective Arm's blood. And as the defense claims, only part of the message that were added afterwards were written in Mr. Justice's blood.
See, I pointed that out earlier.
It would appear that the defense's assertion is correct after all.
Yeah, baby. Yes, you did it. You were right, boss. Now I have to drive it home. I'll have to take a good look at the bloody writing analysis later. DNA analysis definitely proves the blood of the writing to be that of the victim, Candace Arm, age 27. However, the lines that were added later were found to be written in the blood of Apollo Justice, age 23.
Mr. Tonate, it is now apparent that you have told several lies in court. I hope you have some sort of explanation for yourself.
Fine, I will confess.
You will? Then why are you so calm?
This time I will tell the truth.
Alright, let's see it. The truth. Should have been in quotes.
It is true that Detective Arm wrote my ID number. She very plainly wrote L10015R. I was shocked. But I did not detonate the bomb. Detective Arm must have been mistaking me for the real bomber. Not wanting to be accused, I moved the body and covered the writing. My bad.
I see. So it's your assertion that you merely moved the body, is that it?
That's correct. I did not kill Detective Arm.
Oh, well, if that's all you did, then... Wait a minute! That in and of itself is a criminal act!
Glad to see that finally crossed the... glad to see you finally crossed the finish line, Your Honor.
Very well, then. Your cross-examination, please, Mr. Wright. Hold on a minute. This guy's suspicious. Bit of an odd fellow, if you ask me.
Hold it!
L10015R. And it was written after the bomb went off in the courtroom.
Correct. I didn't know why she would write it, so it sent me into a panic.
Sounds like you're in quite a tizzy.
If I were in his shoes, I guess it would have psyched me out, too. Can't imagine coming across the message "Psych's" written in blood.
If I saw a gasp in pain written in blood, it would certainly make me gasp. Rest assured, Mr. Tonate, I understand how you must have felt.
Ah, so you discovered your ID number written in blood at the scene, and...
That is right, I saw it with my own eyes. It very clearly said L10015R. But I did not detonate the bomb. Detective Arm must have mistaken me for the real bomber. Not wanting to be accused, I moved the body and covered the writing. My bad.
Hold it!
By mistaken, do you mean you had nothing to do with the explosion?
That is correct. That is why I was so shocked when I saw my ID number. The victim may have suspected Mr. Tonate for no reason other than the fact that, as the bomb specialist, he was in charge of the bomb. In other words, a false accusation. It's for occasional discrimination, I say.
I do not support discrimination of any kind.
Well spoken, Your Honor. If the victim had been found to be killed with a gavel, Mr. Blue Suit over there probably would have pinned the crime on you.
He would? Well, that just wouldn't do. Mr. Wright, if you dare try to pin anything on me, I will find you in contempt of court.
I've never tried to harm a hair on your... a strand of your beard, Your Honor.
Well, sad, Mr. Payne, because I am so closely associated with bombs. I was afraid I would be prosecuted if anyone saw the bloody writing.
Should I bring up the fact that there's no R in the image?
Objection!
That kind of hurts my case, but... I just want to make doubly sure that L10015R is really what you saw written in blood.
Yes, it is very clear. It very clearly said L10015R.
But that's odd, because that's not what I see.
Objection!
What on earth are you babbling on about now? Wasn't it you who claimed the bloody writing was his ID number in the first place?
Take a good look at the photo in the bloody writing analysis. Now tell me, does it really say L10015R? He's fucking chewing on this wire. Something is missing, isn't it? And that something is the final R.
What's the meaning of this, Mr. Tanate?
Right, now I remember there was no R on the end. There was just a slip of my finger. My bad.
Come back, my beautiful contradiction. Mr. Wright, I'm not sure it was just a simple slip of the finger. You have something for me, Athena? I sense that he's extremely agitated, almost panicked. Yeah, you think so? Oh, you guys look really flustered.
Well, Mr. Wright, it appears it was nothing more than a mere mistake.
I don't know. Did he really just make a typo? What about that R? Did Mr. Tanate really see it? Maybe Mr. Tanate really did see the R. There's no R anywhere on this bloody writing. What's going on here? Actually, now that I take another good look at the photo, I think maybe... That's it! What is it now, Mr. Wright? Are you trying to imitate Apollo and his cords of steel? I've got it! So that's what happened! A slip of the finger! Is that really all it was? Because I don't think so. I propose that Mr. Tanate really did see the letter R.
But the photo clearly shows that there is no R.
No, Your Honor, actually just the opposite is true. The photo shows that Mr. Tanate actually could have seen the R.
If you were to make that claim, then you'd better point out what you mean.
Take that!
Please look here, to the right of the 5. Do you see a little bit of red?
Oh, I see it, just on the edge of where the floor is broken up.
That's the R that Mr. Tanate saw.
Objection!
It's true that the witness wears some pretty odd goggles, but that doesn't mean his eyesight's bad, nor his brain power. What part of that little smudge looks like an R to you?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the fact that it's quite clearly... Ooh, not that one. Not that one either. This one. It's quite clearly a right angle and a straight line. Like, come on.
Objection!
But what Mr. Tanate saw wasn't that little smudge. There was a whole incomplete R written there, before the floor was damaged by the explosion.
Oh, well, that explains it. Huh?
Can you explain what you mean? Yeah, it must mean it happened before the explosion. Because you just proposed that everything happened in the exact opposite order. Yep, because that's the way it really went down. Timing when the R was written turns everything about this case around. Now then, if the floor was damaged by the explosion when the message was written... Oh, then when was the message written? Before. With the bloody message running off the edge of the damaged floor like that. We can only conclude that it was written before the explosion.
But that's ridiculous!
If that were true, it overturns your own premise.
That's right, it does. In fact, it turns everything upside down. The victim was not killed by the explosion in the courtroom. She was killed before the explosion ever occurred! It was a very large window of time. 8 and 11?
Order! Order in the court!
What kind of preposterous claim is that? Have you forgotten that the victim's body was found at the scene of the explosion?
Objection!
True, but consider this scenario. She was hit on the head and killed before the explosion, or even before the trial began. Her body was subsequently placed in the courtroom ruins after the bombing occurred. That way, it could have been made like That way, it could be made to look like she was a victim of the blast.
What?
Sounds like we'd better look into what the victim was doing before the trial. Mr. Payne, did anyone see Detective Arm before the trial?
Let's see. According to police report, here it is. One person saw the victim before the trial, and that person was Ted Ternate. Ted Ternate? Ted Ternate? What?
No one besides Mr. Donate saw the victim?
That appears to be the case, Your Honor.
I would now ask the court to recall something. Specifically, Mr. Tenate's words from yesterday. It was when Detective Arm and I were transporting the bomb.
Oh my!
Mr. Tenate, just before the trial, you were with the victim. The two of you were together at the scene of the crime, courtroom number 4. Your Honor, the defense requests a new testimony from Mr. Tenate. We wish to hear what he has to say about his whereabouts before the trial.
Mr. Tenate, your testimony!
My testimony, there's no need for...
He's completely unnerved, Mr. Wright. You've hit the nail on the head.
All I did was transport the bomb to the courtroom. I already told you.
Blast this thing! I was only in the courtroom with the victim because of our work. I swear I was only transporting the bomb there.
Objection!
You and the victim were alone together at the scene of the crime. In other words, you certainly had the opportunity to commit murder, did you not?
Objection!
Do you always leave yourself so open to attacks, Mr. Wright?
What now, Mr. Payne?
Yes, Mr. Tenate may have had the opportunity to kill Detective Arm, but an important piece of your assertion is still missing.
What important piece?
The murder weapon. What do you claim was used to kill the victim?
Mr. Payne has a point. Even if Mr. Tenate had the chance without a weapon, we can't accuse him of the crime.
Well, here's my 2 cents. It was the bomb that killed her, but not by exploding, by him using the bomb as a weapon.
Well, Mr. Tenate?
Yeah, that's right. I didn't have any sort of thing that could be used as a murder weapon on me. I could have possibly killed Detective Arm.
Did you really have nothing you could use as a murder weapon? What is it, Athena? Just looking over the victim's autopsy report. I'm hoping there's something here that I can use to point us in the right direction. Well, it does say she died from trauma to the back of the head with a flat object. Yeah, and to inflict that specific kind of injury, all you would need is a flat surface, right? Oh yeah, it's the bomb. Oh yeah.
Well, Mr. Wright, can you indicate for the court what was used to kill Detective Arm?
I believe I can. Believe being the word here.
You can? Then please do so now.
Da bomba.
Take that!
Oh shit. Oh, or the... From this piece of evidence was not the murder weapon. That narrows my candidates down. That is literally what we do. That's so funny. That's what every fucking Phoenix Wright player does. You literally just fucking do everything until you get it right. Well, okay, if it's not the bomb itself, then it must have been the, it must have been the thing that's gone missing. It must be the remote.
Take that!
Oh. Okay, or not. I thought I had it. I thought it was the bomb. It's like a square. It's got a flat surface. Oh well. Hydrate? No problem. It's boiling as shit in here. Well, there we go. That's 2 guilty verdicts in one case. Been a while since we've done that. Thinking about it, we barely ever really got too many guilty verdicts in Apollo Justice. 2 in the first fucking tutorial trial. That's not a good sign. Or it is a good sign for good puzzles. Okay, so if it's not the bomb case or the bomb detonator. Oh! Yeah, I was right. It is the bomb. I just had to present the fucking stuffed animals. God damn it. Mr. Tanate, you say you didn't have anything that could be used as a weapon? But in fact, you had the perfect thing.
What? What the devil are you talking about?
You had this.
That's the bomb. I thought you were trying to prove that that the victim wasn't killed by the bomb blast.
The bomb blast, no, but I believe Candace Arm was killed by the bomb. Because this is the blunt object that delivered the fatal blow to her head. Please recall the description of Detective Arm's head wound. Trauma to the back of the head caused by the impact with a flat object. We assume this injury was sustained when her head hit the floor. But a blow from any flat side of this bomb would produce the exact same wound pattern. Yeah. Alright, we'll leave that on that. I gotta go help with groceries. We'll leave him just laughing real quick. I'll be right back. What up? I'm back. Got my groceries all packed away. Let's keep going, shall we? Whew. It's really, really fucking hot. Like, goddamn. It's so hot, it's almost better to be sitting here in my 40-degree fucking the house with my big fan on than being out in the actual sun. And that's saying something. There's like no breeze at all. Alright. Anyway, Mr. Tanate was laughing, or Mr. Detonate, if you prefer. What's with him?
Then show me some proof. Where's the evidence that I hit the victim with the bomb?
Ah, he's right. I don't have anything decisive. Because it exploded!
Did you find any of the victim's blood on the bomb? That would be decisive proof. Oh, but too bad. The bomb is blown to bits. It's long gone. Boom! Game over. Yeah.
Ugh. Mr. Wright, is there nothing in the bomb in the photo? It's got a crack. I don't see any blood or anything. Wait, the timer display's a little broken there. Maybe it broke when he made contact with Detective Arm's head. That's definitely a possibility. But unless we find a fragment with the victim's blood on it, it's not gonna be count. It's not gonna count. It's not gonna be counted. I guess you're right. By setting off the bomb, Tanate managed to obliterate all traces of the murder weapon. What in the world do I do now? Times like this, I've got to change gears and look at things in a different way. Instead of looking for things he wasn't able to hide, I should be looking for a way to expose the things he did hide. Ted Tanate murdered Detective Arm before the trial started, then placed her body in the courtroom after the bomb went off. Which means there was something he needed to keep hidden until then. And I think I have just the thing. 100% the photo that shows exactly what Mr. Tanate had to hide. The body?
Take that!
Your Honor, there's something we've all been overlooking. If the murder took place before the trial, then Mr. Tanate would have had to hide the body somewhere during the trial. Yep. And I know where he did it. It's pretty obvious. Hey, you're right! If we can figure where the hiding place was. Exactly, we might be able to find some evidence we can pin him down with. So, where could Mr. Tanate have hidden the body during the trial? Oh, I don't know, the thing that was transporting the bomb.
Take that!
Wait, a box big enough for a body. A box that was in the courtroom the whole time. A box nobody would touch if they thought there was a bomb in it. Mr. Tanate!
What is it? Do you finally have some decisive evidence to show me?
No, you're the one who's gonna show me.
Come again?
You heard me. Now, show me what's inside the bomb transport case.
What? Why?
Why? No, there's no need. I've got him now. Just before the trial, you killed the victim with a blunt object. And then you placed her body in the ruins of the courtroom after the bomb went off. Clearly, you were trying to make it look as if she died in the explosion. But where was the body hidden during the trial?
No, I hadn't thought of that. I don't do much thinking these days. You guys usually do it for me.
The answer's right here. Inside a box made of thick alloy plating that can withstand any impact. No, that's completely false. If it's false, you should have no objections to showing us your transport case. So, let's open it up and take a look inside, shall we? Hold it.
Let's not. Not if you value your life.
What's he up to now?
Remain calm and listen carefully. This bomb will detonate in 5 minutes.
What?
Huh?
I repeat, this HH-3000 will detonate in 5 minutes.
What's going on?
Your Honor, I recommend you adjourn this trial. Before this bomb goes off.
Mr. Donate, are you threatening me?
I am the only one who can disable this bomb. If you do not want to die, your only option is to listen to me. But Mr. Donate, didn't you just say that this is a training model, a fake to practice on?
I did, but I also lied. This is the real deal. This is the HH-3000. The HH-3000 was used to blow up the courtroom number 4. Wasn't it?
How did you know it was the real HH-3000 that blew up courtroom number 4? The bomb that blew up the courtroom was a different one. One that I made.
What? Then are we to take that as a confession on your part?
Take it any way you would like. Just before the trial, I took the HH-3000 out of the stuffed animal and put my own bomb in it. That was the bomb that exploded and destroyed courtroom number 4. Mr. Donate, please be reasonable! Do you really expect us to believe a crazy story like that? The HH-3000, it is so unique. I'd never seen anything like it.
It's so unique that I could not replicate the detonation mechanism.
So I just had to have it. Besides, did anyone look inside the stuffed animal during the trial? Did anyone check to see if it really was the HH-3000 in there?
I must confess, no one opened the stuffed animal to check.
So, there really is a possibility that the bomb was switched out?
Yeah, he's claiming that this is that specific bomb than just like a regular bomb. That is odd. It's like, it doesn't really change much. Other than his weird fascination with it.
No. Not a possibility, a certainty. I did it.
So he's had a real bomb with him this whole time?
You had better get out of here while you can. You do not have much time.
Well, he's bluffing. We can't hear the beeping.
Order! Order in the court!
Man, I'm out of here! It's gonna blow! Run!
You 4 are still here. Well, well, aren't you brave?
It just wouldn't do for the judge presiding over this court to run. With that horrible explosion the other day.
The judge looks like he's about to book it for the nearest exit any second. As for Mr. Payne...
That is... Ah!
Oh my god, he actually ran off. And he's off. Mr. Wright, what do we do? Ugh. It'd be pretty pathetic to run now, wouldn't it? But the bomb might really go off.
Only 3 more minutes, folks. Oh, sorry. 3 more minutes, folks.
Is that bomb really the HH-3000? What should I do? Run like a yellow-bellied chicken! Stand my ground. That ain't the same bomb. The stupid timer isn't cracked. And also, it's not beeping.
Well, it's been fun, but I will be going now. With my dear HH-3000, naturally. Oh, and by the way, I would advise against having me followed. Even with no remote switch, this bomb can still be triggered manually. If I think I am being followed, I will detonate it on the spot. Farewell.
Hold it!
You're not going anywhere, Ted Tanate!
Oh.
Your Honor, there's no reason to be afraid. That bomb is a fake.
Are you sure, Mr. Wright?
More of your famous bluffing, even at the risk of your own life.
Mr. Wright, none of your bluffing now, not at a time like this. Lives are on the line here.
I'm not bluffing, and I have proof.
You do?
Yes, of course, Your Honor. It's right here in the photo. It's right here in the photo of the bomb, clear as day. Proof that Mr. Tanate's bomb is not the real HH-3000.
Really? Out with it then, immediately!
The little crack on the screen right there, see it?
Take that!
The display for the timer on the bomb in the photo is broken. Most likely it broke when Mr. Tanate used the bomb to attack Detective Arm. But the display on the bomb in front of us is not broken.
Oh, you're right!
Therefore, this is not the real HH-3000. Mr. Tanate was clearly lying when he said he switched out the bomb and the stuffed animal. The real HH-3000 blew up courtroom number 4. This bomb is nothing more than a fake, a model used for training purposes. Fear not, Your Honor. I will examine the inside of that bomb transport case myself.
Yes, please do that, Mr. Wright.
No, stop! It's gonna be filled with blood. Well, not filled. Definitely stained.
What is that? Is it a blood stain?
Just as I suspected. Your lies have all been blown to bits, Mr. Tanate. I'm confident DNA analysis on this bloodstain will confirm that it's Detective Arm's blood, and that those results will conclusively prove that you murdered Detective Arm. How about it, Mr. Tanate? Think you can dismantle this decisive evidence?
Dismantle it.
You're too late! You missed your chance to run, so now you're out of time. This HH-3000's about to explode!
Don't try to threaten us, Mr. Tanate. I've already proved that your bomb is a fake.
It's real. This bomb's the real thing, I tell you. It's real!
Mad bomber, party of one.
There's no time left. It's gonna blow. I have to disarm it. I have to take it apart. I can dismantle anything. I can take apart evidence. I can take apart bombs. I can dismantle it all. Dismantle, 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 dismantle. I'm not gonna make it. Only one thing left to do. Stop!
Kaboom.
Made it.
Oh. Those eyes. Uh-oh. Game over. Dismantle attempt failed. It's gonna be a shot of confetti or something.
It's all over. Her life has been blown to pieces. It's all that stupid woman's fault. I was selling the bombs I disarmed on the black market. When I tried to take this one, she just had to notice, didn't she? She confronted me in the courtroom number 4 that day. That's why I had no choice! Before I knew what I was doing, I hit her. It's all her fault.
Bro, there ain't no way a detective let you hit them. This is fucking bullshit. She should've, like, fucking swerved out of the way, karate chopped you in the side, and Ran has kicked you in the head.
While I was looking for a place to hide her body, she left a message in her own blood. The trial was about to start, so I didn't have time to clean it up. Now all this. I thought for sure I could disguise her death with an explosion. Then that stupid defense attorney started sticking his nose into my business. After my testimony yesterday, I went to the courtroom, and I found that kid all up in my bomb transport case. That's when I snuck up behind him, and BAM! When the idiot police arrested that little girl, I thought for sure I could pin it all on her. Why? Oh, why?
Well, crime doesn't pay, Mr. Tanate. Crime doesn't pay. Phoenix, that was not as cool as you thought it was. Oh, come on, I mean, it was something. I heard it in a movie once. Come on, it's pretty cool, I think.
Tentonate, you are hereby under arrest. On suspicion of the courtroom bombing and the assault of Mr. Justice. Your innocence or guilt will be determined at a later trial. Now then, I see that members of the public have returned to the gallery. One person, however, seems to still be running far, far away. Be that as it may, I will now announce Miss Juniper Wood's verdict. And soon to be Mr. Juniper Wood's verdict.
Not guilty! Woohoo! Confetti! Yippee! Hooray! Whippy! Is Gumshoe still throwing the confetti, by the way? Is that still canon? Woohoo! He's here in spirit.
Court is adjourned.
What a fun first trial. That was very good. It wasn't too, like, intensive. And, you know, there was nothing too crazy about it. Not too much of a mystery that it was him. He's with Chunky. You did it, boss! Yeah, I guess we managed to pull it off somehow. So many mysteries cleared up all at once. It was amazing! Well, it just sort of worked out that way, didn't it? That's not the kind of thing that usually just works out. You made it happen. And the way that mean old prosecutor hightailed it out of there, that was great!
Mr. Wright, Tina, thank you for everything you did for me.
I'm so happy for you, Junie. Now you can go back home to the forest in peace.
I hope the both of you will come and visit me there sometime.
Something silly about this game? Alright, give us a silly little tidbit. I want a silly little tidbit. A silly. I want a silly. Doom, 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 doom. That would be nice. Thank you for the invitation.
I don't know, Mr. Wright.
I'm not so sure you can make it all the way up to Junie's house.
How high up do you live again, Junie? Around 3,000 feet, I think.
What? That's no forest, that's a mountain! The chronological order of the cases is 2, 3, DLC, first half of 4, 1, second half of 4, and then 5. What the fuck? Okay. That's interesting. I mean, I already knew that we were probably gonna get introduced to the case before it got bombed. The events that transpired previously. I knew we were gonna get that, but God. Are we supposed to do the DLC, like, earlier then? I'm gonna do everything else just in order, but I think we can start the special case anytime. It's probably made so that you play it afterwards. No, let's just leave it.
But you know, boss, there's something that still bothers me about the case. One little mystery we never got around to solving.
Oh, that? Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Is this the unsolved mystery you're thinking about? Oh! Where the remote is.
Take that!
The remote switch, right?
Yeah, I wonder where it disappeared to.
Some people recommend doing DLC in chronological order, but it's not too big of a deal. Okay, we'll just go in normal order then. It's fine, whatever.
Maybe Mr. Tanate just got rid of it somewhere.
Yeah, it is a pretty big thing to leave unsolved, though. Well, let's leave it. Let's leave it up to the police to find. For now, we should be celebrating our not guilty verdict.
I guess you're right. Hey, I know, Junie. Shall we go report the good news? You know,
to that certain someone.
Okay.
Huh? Her grandma? No, silly, to Apollo! Oh, right. Well, why don't we all go to the hospital together to see him? Great idea. I bet he's bored out of his mind.
Okay.
And so the courtroom bombing case came to a close. But the next trial was just over the horizon. There's never a dull moment with so many lawyers in the office, that's for sure. Apollo Justice, Athena Sykes, and me, Phoenix Wright. Between the three of us, there's no case we can't solve. When our powers combine, we're an unstoppable team. At least, that's what I believed. That's what I believed. Past tense. But all of that changed with what Apollo said to us that day. It was something that would put my faith in us to the ultimate test. Oh, it's still the Right Anything Agency. Hey, buddy.
Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence.
Oh,
Wait, what do you mean by a leave?
Can you at least give me a reason why? I can only say that this is something I must settle on my own.
aw. Aw, Trucy, no! Your brother's leaving. He's gonna go fuck Woods. Bro has to go on his own little solo journey. I can't take this anymore, you guys!
Oh, why, Apollo? Why are you shutting us out?
You guys took my game franchise away from me! I only had one game, and now it's named after Phoenix! This is bullshit! I'm gonna go make a spin-off like Edgeworth did! What happened to you, Apollo? Ever since you put that jacket on, you've changed. And now, for whatever reason, all my mind keeps doing is returning to the day I first met you. Athena, you've known Apollo for 3 months. I think they said 5 months. We tackled our first case together, and as we did, I came to know who he is and how he thinks. It was a very peculiar case, one in which the victim was killed by a mythical creature. And interesting. This is going to be an interesting web. I think Apollo's fine. He's just got some fucking past shit to deal with. Well, sorry to cut it short, but the stream did get cut in half. We'll at least watch the intro to this. This will be when Athena and Apollo met, huh? The monstrous turnabout. Whoa! Is this like a Steel Samurai thing? I feel like this might be the opening to a new FromSoft game.
Long, long ago, the nine-tailed fox defeated the evil Tenmataro and sealed the fallen demon away. To this day, it is said that he slumbers even still within the Forbidden Chamber.
Bro doesn't give a shit. Oh, hello.
Night, night, Alderman. Sweet dreams.
Well, we know who the murderer is, I guess.
At long last, the revival of Tenmataro is at hand.
Bruh. You're really just gonna give us the murderer right off the bat? You ain't gonna let us even speculate? Yeah, he's getting framed, in my opinion. Yeah, when he said night-night, he was actually saying good night. I think Blusher's the killer. A few months prior to the courthouse bombing. Well, this is a familiar sight. This looks almost identical. Oh, the trophy's got the Papa hat on now. Cute. Guess I'm a little early.
Oh, hey Apollo! Getting an early start today?
Guys, does Trucy look a little weird? Listen, I don't think this extra year has done her any favors. Don't say anything. She's looking a little three-dimensional, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, she's 16 now. An aspiring magician who Mr. Wright adopted when duty called. Yeah, this is the first job I've had in a while.
Well, aren't we all fired up?
You'll only see her for 5 minutes, though, Tracy. Well, it's not every day I get a call from Mr. Wright. What kind of work is it anyway? Mr. Wright didn't mention any details.
Where? Is that how he put it?
Don't tell me he just wants me to clean the toilet again.
You've really become a fixture around here, Apollo.
Come to think of it, it's been almost a year since I was hired. Lots happened since then. But I've settled in nicely, despite a few bumps in the road. My name is Apollo Justice. I've been practicing law for about a year, but I still have a lot to learn. This is the Right Anything Agency, and it's where I work. (2010) Where do you think I was in 2010? Don't let that name fool you. It's definitely a law agency.
Agency. But don't forget that this place is a talent agency too, Polly.
It's the law agency part of the office that's usually forgotten. This is Trucy Wright, a budding magician, an adopted daughter of the agency's owner, Phoenix Wright. She sometimes makes me help with her magic tricks.
And what's wrong with that? You're one of the agency's talents as well.
I was under the impression that I was a lawyer.
Oh, we'd better hurry. Doesn't look like Daddy's gonna make it. So let's get going.
Where are we going? What about the job he mentioned?
This is the job, Polly. You're supposed to keep me company today.
Based.
Now come on.
Why didn't I get paid to keep my siblings company? Another day of not being a lawyer. Should have seen this coming.
Well, this is the Right Anything Agency, you know. And there's no law-related work at the moment, so...
Tell me again why I chose to work here. Where is Mr. Wright anyway?
Daddy said something about going to meet an acquaintance. But don't worry, just focus on your job and I'll tell you exactly what you need to know. Well, let's go. We don't have all day.
Wait a sec. And another day of anything goes begins at the Right Anything Agency. April 17, 1:30 p.m. Nine Tails Vale, Yokai Lane. Yokai Watch? That was a 3DS game, right? Well, there we go. Alright, everybody. Well, that will be Dueling Destinies. Is that what it's called? Yes? Maybe? How did I already forget? Dual Destinies. Dueling Destinies. I mean, close enough. Well, we'll be taking a little break, and then we'll be hopping on to web fishing for a little chill, relaxing fishing stream. We've been wanting to play web fishing for a while, and Ryan finally forced my hand, so that's what we're going to be doing in a little bit. I don't know when exactly we'll be live, but of course I'll ping the Discord, so
come by if you want to just relax and talk about whatever and fish with us. It'll be fun. I'm going to open up to chat if any of you guys have web fishing. If not, then it's fine. It'll be private from, like, the rest of the world, but we'll have, like, the password on stream to go in case people want to come fish with us. Either way, you're all welcome. I'll see you later. And next week, we'll continue Dual Destinies, as well as hopefully we'll hop back on Darkwood and stuff and get those trains moving again. Supposedly, we're getting a February Direct, so if there's any shadow drops, that might put stuff on hold if it's important. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you all later. I'm really enjoying Dual Destinies so far. I am really digging the art styles. I think some people have really iffy models. I really want the Judge to be fixed in the next game, and Trucy looks a little odd too. Like, it's definitely based off their sprites, but I don't know, there's just something uncanny about them. But everybody else looks great, I think. But yeah, there you go. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for tuning in to Phoenix Wright, Dual Destinies. Should be Apollo Dual Destinies, but whatever. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.